What's up, guys? I'm Monty Mont.
Hey, I'm Ed, man.
I'm Vinny.
This is your boy Q.
Man, oh man. And Only Murders in the Building. The first 3 episodes, we seen it. And we're going to talk about it. Boy, we got shenanigans going already. Pre-show. We got new blood here today with us, man. We're going through a very interesting show that is out on Hulu. We're gonna talk about a couple of episodes right now. First off, I want to say the show looks like the showrunner. I was trying to figure out. I think it's Jamie or John Hoffman is the showrunner of this show, and he's been on a couple couple little projects and things like that. I didn't know him a whole lot. He's written on just a few things. This is this big thing that he's getting right here because he's not got a whole lot of credits, but it's a very interesting premise. And we're going to talk about kind of the ties it has with present day things and podcasting and all that is happening. It is starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. Sorry. Young folk, Lord Jesus, I know. Forgive me. And Selena Gomez. So very quickly, let's just go around and give your initial assessment of the show just through the first 3 episodes. We'll start with you, Earl. What's your first 3? Just your assessment of it.
Thoroughly surprised. Like, I'm not a big Steve Martin fan. I fool with Martin Short. I think that dude is hilarious. And then Selena Gomez, I don't know. That's beyond my age group. But like, I saw the commercials and I was like, man, this look kind of good. And then I looked at it. Only 30-minute long episodes, perfect for a new father. So I'm thoroughly surprised.
Okay, all right, Vinny.
Well, I can say personally, I found out about the show. I seen the trailer in like August, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to see this because I was a big Selena fan. And this is her first show in a very long time. So to see her acting again, that was really, really cool. And honestly, the show seems like it can get interesting. And I do like the first 3 episodes already. It seems like there's going to be a lot more to it.
All right, Johnny Q.
All right, so I'm a big cinema head. I prefer movies, but watching the show, I'm more of a fan of Steve Martin. I've always known him as the dad type figure. If you go back through all of his movies, he was always some type of father. So it was interesting to see him as like this loner type character living in New York City, finding 3 friends that all have an interest in like death. So, that was pretty interesting. So, the first 3 episodes are actually really great. It's a great start for a show.
Seems like there's an earthquake happening in I'm not sure, your side of the square. I don't know what's going on, but we'll take that assessment there as well. Yes, for me, I'm kind of reverse of Earl. First of all, Steve Martin and Martin Short were in an amazing movie called Three Amigos. I know young people don't know nothing about that, but classic movie there. I'm a little more Steve Martin than Martin Short, but I like them both. And I thought it was really weird. I was like, wait, so Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. That's a very weird combination. I'm not fully versed in the works of Selena Gomez. I don't want to embarrass myself. I know she was on a big show. I don't want to say, no, it wasn't iCarly, but it was something else. I know she was big in that, and I know she has a music career as well. I know that she's pretty big in music because at my gym, every 3rd song is Selena Gomez. And so I thought it was very interesting. But when I saw the premise, I saw the pilot, I was like, oh, okay, this could be something. And they're really just kind of letting, first of all, Martin Short just shoot from 3, just Steph Curry in it, being Martin Short, really just go crazy. Steve Martin is kind of the control where he's just playing this retired actor. I like that role for him. And Selena Gomez is, for me to not know a whole lot about her acting, I don't know. Like, Vinny, you have to tell me, is she really acting or is that kind of her personality, Vinny?
It's more of like her acting. She doesn't really act like that a lot in real life, but it's kind of a mix of both. Just like in the way she talks, she doesn't change too much about herself in order to step in certain roles. So yeah.
Now, it's funny because Johnny Q, you said a very interesting thing that you know Steve Martin as a father figure type in movies, which for your age group, you probably would. Father of the Bride, you might have seen, I'm sure, two or three of those. And that's what I wonder for like people of y'all's generation who know of Steve Martin. You might know him as this father figure. Now, older guy like me, I remember him from Saturday. I don't remember Saturday Night Live, but I remember he was in like a movie called The Jerk. Movies, you know, like I said, The Three Amigos, and he was a huge stand-up comedian. He was like, you know, whatever. I don't know who's the biggest stand-up white comedian. Maybe it's John Mulaney. He was like John Mulaney back in the day, pretty much. He was huge, and he just parlayed that. But to see this, I wonder what younger people feel about him. I know they're big on Selena Gomez, but for like people like me and Earl, you know, Martin Short and those guys, we know their work, and to see this together. So let's then talk about the show, because apparently it's a situation where these people are living in the same building. The relationships, at least between Selena, doesn't really know these two old guys. The old guys kind of know. Martin Short is a playwright, director, and Steve Martin's an actor, and they kind of know each other, but it kind of by chance they're listening to a podcast about a crime podcast as a crime happened in their actual building, and that's where they come together. Now, real quick, I don't know if you guys have. I'm currently listening to a crime podcast right now. Is anybody into that genre at all with crime podcasts?
Yes, I love true crime podcasts.
Okay.
Very interesting take.
What are you listening to right now?
Okay, wait. I haven't been listening to anything right now because I've been really busy with schoolwork, but a long time ago, I used to listen to crime like stories. I forgot the name of it. But.
What's the one? Remember, it was the girl.
Serial. Is it Serial?
Serial was one. I don't know if anybody else. That was a big one. I'm listening to one right now about the lawyer in South Carolina who his son died and the wife died. It's very interesting, man. This story is crazy. So it's very interesting because these crime podcasts are now taking over. And so the show is about kind of a crime podcast. So I want to ask you guys, I'll start with you, Johnny Q. How do you feel in terms of each person's performance and the show overall? Like, how do you feel like who is the best actor in this group so far?
I mean, that's kind of an obvious takeaway. That's instantly goes to Steve, because I mean, I don't really know much about Martin Short. I mean, the only thing I really seen him in was in that movie with Tim Allen, and it was whenever he turned into Santa Claus. That movie. Yeah, that's the only thing I really remember Martin Short's from. Yeah, there we go. Selena Gomez, she started off as Disney, so you know their acting was more like broader. Like they couldn't really they had to dramatize everything, right? So her becoming this serious, stone cold, like all-powerful woman character, being like cussing everyone out, that's not really her type figure from what I've seen her as. So I mean, there are moments if you like pause and rewatch, there's like she's like stunned, and I get that that's her part of her character, a person who has trauma, basically seeing one of her past friends get murdered, but it's not giving enough acting. So hands down, Steve Martin is definitely playing his role. It almost like that character almost seems a little bit like it was easy for him to adapt. So I would say he's the best actor as of right now.
Interesting. Vinny, who would you say for your pick?
I would also have to agree. I do believe that it is Steve Martin. And the reason why I say that is just because Martin Short, he usually plays around the lines of the same character. His character is always like extra and out there. And of course, I wouldn't say Selena just because this is her first role in a really long time, so she's easing back into it. But I think with Steve Martin, you know, he's been in the game. So of course, he's just more so building onto other characters that he thinks work best for the film. So
interesting. Earl, you got to pick.
I know nothing about Selena Gomez besides, you know, she I guess dated Justin Bieber.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
From looking from appearances, like she has quite the husky voice. They threw me off because she's got this, childlike face, and then she's like, I don't know. I don't know who committed this murder. I was like, oh God. But Steve Martin, he's kind of like the lovable idiot. So I mean, But I'm gonna go with Martin Short. He's shooting. He's Steph Curry from 3. Like I think that dude is hilarious. I don't know why, but I think he's hilarious.
I kind of agree. Martin Short has made me laugh a lot in this. I'm going to give Selena Gomez props because, again, Steve Martin's got his quirky thing. Martin Short is super quirky, but she's kind of the control. Like, she's like looking at them like, that wasn't funny. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? Because they're just kind of out here on the fringes. And for her to not really be in a lot of roles like this, that's usually you would have Selena be the wild one and a more seasoned actor, but she is kind of tying things together. But yeah, Martin Short is just everything he's doing. He's just going for it. He's so ridiculous. So it's a good dynamic. You know, and these 2 old guys, this young girl. We don't want to give away too much of the plot because this is still ongoing. I mean, we're only halfway through, but it is interesting. Now, what I did love on the first episode, somebody, you know, dies, and so they go to the scene, and then a cop comes in, and a cop basically kind of narrates a little bit of it, and it's like, I know you guys aren't listening to some crime podcast, and now think you can solve a crime, which is happening now a lot. And not to be too morbid, but you know, there's been like a case with the missing young lady in Wyoming and some other cases where people listen to these crime shows and then really feel like, yo, let's solve this case. And most of the time with good intentions, people trying to help. Sometimes I know law enforcement don't need all that help and don't want all that help, but you know, you never know. But this is a real thing where people are like, yo, I just listened to some murder podcast and the forensic, and then CSI got everybody thinking they know all about how to fingerprint junk. So we're kind of seeing, it's interesting how because they're really pushing their podcast. So I'm not giving too much away. The characters are trying to solve the murder, and they're literally doing a podcast about it as well, which is a very interesting dynamic. He's trying to get funding for the podcast and all these things like that. So let me just, guys, be careful, because again, we don't want to spoil too much. Where do you think, I can even put this right, where do you think we're going to end up in this whole thing by the end of this? If you can, we're just going to, okay, put it like this. Forget the spoilers. If you've gone this far, we're just going to say what we think. We don't know because the show isn't even done yet. If you don't want to spoil, we can't spoil it because we don't know what we're talking about. We're just going to give our assessment. So, Earl, what do you think is going to happen at the end of this thing?
Okay, Kari's screaming, but I don't know, because it's such a closed. It's like there's not a lot of characters, so it's like you can't be like, oh, it's this person from episode 2, because there's only like 3 or 4 people. Hold on.
He's got. I mean, his son has
only 3 or 4 people from episode to episode, but I think it's going to be more so why the person got murdered and not who.
Interesting. Okay, Johnny Q, give us your assessment, you think, for the rest of the show.
Okay, so for the rest of the show, I mean, if you all remember the first 30 seconds, Selena Gomez was literally caught with a dead body, blood all over her. So I'm assuming that the end of the show is going to be who or whoever got killed, why they got killed, all that stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I agree with Earl. Like I said, it's a very closed off character. I do believe that, I mean, we're learning new things about the characters every day. Steve Martin apparently had a wife or someone in his life that they made reference to. They made reference to her once. Her name was Lucy. Martin Shorts is clearly falling on hard times. That's why the whole podcast thing was made, because they didn't really care about making one until Martin needed the funding, because he's late on his bills. So he's the one who's trying to drive this home. Let's do this. Let's not only solve it, but let's make money off it. And Selena's character just needs closure. Why did this happen to someone she knew all those years ago? So I believe after they reveal who else got murdered, she'll somehow get some type of closure. Martin's character will somehow get funding, and Steve's character, I think he'll finally get that acting role he's been looking for so long.
Interesting. Good assessment. Vinny?
Well, I think that Selena Gomez's character is going to play a very huge role in the plot, especially because she was the friend. And I think that's also going to be a very big thing because she hasn't told Steve or Martin yet. So I think that's going to become a very big thing when they do find out. And I think it's really going to, in a sense, drive a wedge between the group. And I think that's going to be a very big kind of thing that they do in the show. I don't really know what's going to happen with Steve Martin's character or with Martin Short, but I just mostly think that Selena Gomez's character and even the storyline about their friendship is going to play a big role into the ending of the show.
Yeah, they all don't really trust each other, and the show has alluded to little parts of their lives that the others don't know. And I think at the end of it, it's all going to get intertwined some kind of way. And I forgot about that. Q has said they do. I forgot the start of the show. You see Selena Gomez over this body. I forgot about that. So
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, something's going to tie in some kind of way. But I think everybody's trust is going to get tested because they all got secrets. They all got issues. And I think at the end of that, first of all, this show is it's already getting successful. So I'm sure somehow, some way, there's going to be some kind of season 2. So everything is going to wrap up, and I feel like they're going to be closer, even though probably episode 4 or 5 is going to be a wedge. Definitely. Like Selena already had an issue with Steve because she felt like he was kind of fake. And like you said, the whole time she ain't even told him she knows the guy. So we don't know. But it's a very interesting show, very interesting premise. So we look forward to it. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Hulu now. Very interesting show. And again, it speaks to, like I said, podcasting, murder mysteries, people thinking they can solve stuff and thinking they know what they're doing and all that stuff. Plus, not being able to trust people as well. So that is Only Murders in the Building, guys. Check it out if you want to. I mean, Selena Gomez fans, I'm sure they're already heavy into that, and the Bieber heads as well. If they,
let us know why her voice so husky.
Yeah,
Girl.
She's a singer, man. You talking about her voice is husky? She literally has made millions just off of her voice. What are you talking about?
But her natural speaking voice.
It seems deep, though. I agree.
Deep, man. It's like, who killed my best friend? It's like, what?
I noticed that. I was like, because again, I don't know. I was like, maybe she's just a deep alto. I don't know. But she's doing good. She's holding her own.
She's good. She's good. It's just you gotta get past the voice.
Right. So, guys, check it out. Let us know how you feel about it. Please, this is the We Seen It podcast. But if you're watching this on the Mighty Sharp Network, I urge you to go over to We Seen It on YouTube, subscribe, because that's where we'll be exclusively, probably after this show, exclusively putting the content on there. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe. We appreciate it. All right. You know what to do. Always, guys. Be blessed. Stay sharp.